I'm Justin Cheng. I'm one of the chiropractors here at Stark, and I'd say I'm more of a mobility specialist here. Born and raised in Southern California, married to my beautiful wife, and I got a 2-year-old son. Gosh, I've been with Stark for about 6 years now. I originally heard about Stark through Dr. John, actually, just through getting to know him and getting exposed to the type of treatment I wanted. I was able to get to know Stark, and so that's how I first heard about it. But what really drew me to Stark, though, is just the whole integrative approach and really being able to take like a 360-degree approach for a single individual and being able to customize it towards that person. And for me, being able to be a part of that journey for an individual was pretty exciting for me. And it's a completely different aspect from, I guess, from a practice standpoint for a chiropractor to be in this type of environment. And so that kind of really motivated me to want to stick around to be at Stark. See, the reason I chose to do Stark Naked this year was a couple things. The first one was my dad was actually doing it, and so I got a lot of peer pressure from staff here, from my family, to also do it with him. And I thought it'd be a great kind of bonding opportunity to do something that we both love to do. The second thing is I wanted to kind of transform the image of the dad bod. You know, I got a 2-year-old son, and so I got to be active for him, and you know, I want to kind of change the health and the physical aspect of what a dad bod should really look like. I chose to represent the Max Love Project this year. I really was inspired to choose them mainly because I've built a relationship with Audra, who's the CEO. I got to hear a little bit about her personal story with her son Max and how he's been fighting with cancer. And so it was a really powerful and inspiring story. And I love the mission that they have as far as trying to institutionalize integrative medicine, healthy eating habits, and building a strong community for these families that are battling childhood cancer. And so you know, having my own son, I can't imagine what they're going, you know, what these families have to go through. And so it's just a pleasure for me to be able to represent them, and I want to help them out and you know, pursue their mission of really changing what treatment can look like for kids with cancer. So, all right, something that I've I guess really learned throughout this whole process is I guess I didn't really know how competitive I actually am. And so the biggest thing is having my dad also doing this alongside me has really shown me how disciplined I guess I can be. And with the right motivation, like I could kind of do anything. The biggest motivating factor is by far the embarrassment of my dad being more jacked than me. I cannot let that happen. And so, you know, that alone is gonna propel me to the finish line. But my biggest support is obviously at home, my wife, just dealing with my mood swings, their irritability, the different types of foods I have to eat, and catering to that while we're taking care of a 2-year-old son yeah, makes her the top supporter for sure. My favorite part of Stark Naked is just the transformation that I get to see. It's really awesome to kind of live it out as far as being following with diet, nutrition, working out consistently, having a good routine. And so being able to see the changes that you can make when you are on point with everything has been kind of fun for me. So I have the biggest sweet tooth ever, and so the things that I crave most are just sugar. Sour candy is like my kryptonite. So like Sour Patch Kids, Trolley gummy worms, gummy bears, anything sweet and chewy, like that's what I miss the most. Even donuts. I'm huge into like bready foods or doughy foods, and so getting like a sidecar donut, you know, the cinnamon crumb one, is probably by far something I crave the most. You know, when I first started here at Stark 6 years ago, I was drinking 1 to 2 Cokes a day, and so being able to cut certain things out in my diet has really been transformative. And so if I were to give any advice just going through this whole process is starting to cut certain things out like gluten. I'd say that's a big one. I used to be this guy where I thought like the whole gluten gluten fad was just a fad actually, and so I didn't believe in it. But when I cut it out myself, I mean, I felt better, I had more energy, more focus, and so that's the one advice I'd give is start out with that. Start cutting out gluten.